Actually, not ATM.
You always want to do that.
I love doing that. You go ahead that second Cam Newton clip. I think it's gonna be the fourth. It's gonna be the third clip. There we go.
Yep, there we go.
Low value or
I'm
high
seeing
value, low function, high function, two different things. Low value has to do with money and quality of life, fiduciary. Functioning has to do with how do you function innately, emotionally, psychologically as a human being. And so if you have billions of dollars, Donald Trump is low functioning. He just happens to be high value in the sense of his wealth, but he's extremely low functioning. And I'm not for or against him. I'm not for or against Trump. I'm just using someone. And again, we're having a conversation, so everything's going to be subjective. Just because a woman is high functioning doesn't mean she's successful financially or career-wise. Just because a man is high functioning doesn't mean that either. Just because someone is high valued doesn't mean that they have a certain level of functioning. You have a lot of people that do good in the boardroom, high IQ, high functioning, interpersonal relationships, but cannot function at home in their marriage. Those two are not relevant to each other. Low value or high value, low function, high function, two different things. Low value has to do with money and quality of life, fiduciary. Functioning has to do with how do you function innately, emotionally, psychologically as a human being. And so if you have billions of dollars, Donald Trump is low functioning. He just happens to be high value in the sense of his wealth, but he's extremely low functioning. And I'm not for or against him. I'm not for or against Trump. I'm just using someone. And again, we're having a conversation, so everything's going to be subjective. Just because
That's going to be the new
high functioning, right?
Yeah, that's going to be the new buzz term that is going to be used on social media.
I feel like by like women though.
Yeah.
I feel like high functioning is just a metric of how your wife gets along with you. Like, what does high functioning mean? High functioning means like high value. We understand is how your peers perceive you, how you've done in life.
Well, you let her say it. It's like you could be high value if you have money.
Yeah, means yeah.
If you have means.
Yeah. But high functioning is completely subjective.
I'm not sure if it's subjective.
Sounds like it to me. It sounds like it's just how the person that you're with perceives you.
It doesn't have to be the person that you're with per se. It could actually be like your peers. You know what I mean?
No, but that's high value.
All right. No,
you could be a bank robber and have millions of dollars, but you're not high value because you.
See, this is the thing.
You're a criminal.
This is what she's saying. This is her interpretation of what high value is. Because she's saying like you could have high value based on you having high income or high net worth, right? But I don't necessarily believe that because you could have a lot of money and have a low moral compass, right?
All right.
That doesn't mean that you're high value, right? You could just have a lot of money and you could hoard it onto yourself. You cannot invest in your people. You could not. You know you could be on some Scrooge McDuck.
We understand high value.
I'm not sure because the way she described it, I wouldn't necessarily describe it that way. But low functioning, I feel like you're talking about like a toxic person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But isn't a toxic person all about who's looking at you? If you're a pothead all day and you don't really do nothing all day, but you're not hooked on heavy drugs, but then a heroin addict looks at you, but like, damn, I'd love to be that nigga life. Like, I mean,
you talking about two low functioning people. If you want to, I'm going to use the terminology.
But you're not low functioning to the heroin addict. It's all in the eyes of the beholder who's low functioning or not. That's what I look at it like. I feel like it's just the way you perform in the relationships that you're in. Some people are
All right,
okay with you being like
let's speak generally.
generally.
Generally
I would
speaking,
be low functional.
society.
My wife thinks I'm high functional, but there would be someone else that would think that I'm
All
low
right, no, all right.
functional.
What I'm saying is this, right? Use the analogy of a pothead versus a heroin addict.
Yeah.
I think society, generally speaking, would be like, oh, both of those people are low functioning.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Somebody, like if the majority of people don't smoke pot or they're not potheads or they're not heroin addicts, they're like both of those people are low functioning. Now, all right, we gonna say who's lower than me or who's a little bit higher than me. That's something different. But generally speaking, I think you can kind of discern between high functioning people and low functioning people. You know what I mean? Again, I think it's based on society. The way they, all these boxes are based on how society perceives you. You know what I mean? And usually, majority of the time, the way society sees you is the way your peers see you. Like,
So let's go to Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton, she deemed him as being low functional because he has different, he has 3 baby mothers, 8 babies. But what if there's a young man that's just coming into the NFL and be like, yo, that's exactly what I want.
I want to have.
I want to live like Cam Newton.
I want to have 8
I
kids
want
by
to have
three
8 kids by 3 different women. I
Nobody
don't want to
says
be
that. Come
tied.
on, bro.
I don't want to be tied down by any women. I don't want to be. I just want to be out there and
don't have children.
Yeah, but it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Like I feel like low functional is all about the lens that you're looking at that person out of.
I get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
that's all sweet and dandy.
It's a big scale.
But there are some people that are deemed worthless in society by damn near everybody.
Yeah, but that's the bottom of the barrel. But some
All right.
women in their 20s want the bad boy. They want the guy. Most women
And maybe
want
that
the
woman,
guy, but when they get
probably
older-
is low functioning also.
Okay.
I think most people that would see that person subjectively and say, oh yeah, that person is high functioning because that's probably at the level that they're at, or they're below that level.
So let's talk about this Dr. Cheyenne. She is a life coach. She's a dating coach. She's unmarried at 41 and with no children. Is she low functioning?
I think, and it's I'm not trying to move the goalposts or anything like that, but you can't. Can you for some people you can't paint them with the same brush for everything, right?
Because it's in the lens, because of what I just said. Because
all right, no,
professionally,
some people would say like, yo, she's high functioning, right? Hold on. Professionally, we may say, oh, she's high functioning. She's a career.
No, you said professionally. Now we're getting into the high value. She might have high value because of the things that she accomplished, but in her life, people might look at her like,
we're just talking about functioning, right?
Yeah, but you're talking about her accolades now, right?
I think she accomplished. I think somebody could be high functioning in one area of their life and low functioning somewhere else.
Nah.
No?
You move goalpost. There's a name for that.
What is it?
When you're high functioning in some parts, you're high value. When you
what
made it to the top of your.
What do we say about a woman that she's at the top of her career, right? Mm-hmm. You call her high functioning?
I would call her high value.
All right. Okay. But you say she's low functioning because she doesn't have a man or children.
I mean, you didn't answer the question, but you put it back on me. I like
no, because I'm trying to see exactly. I'm trying to see
in my lens. I would say that as a dating coach, her not having accomplished anything at 41 years, she's just as low functioning as Cam Newton is.
Okay.
I look at Ebony K. Williams, who is, I think she's pregnant now. She's single. She's about to make herself a single mother.
Okay.
Is that low functional? That she couldn't find another person to get along with enough to have a baby with? Like, that's what we're talking about. Cool. If you could play that clip one more time, because she broke down the functional, all that shit. She made up the whole terms herself, and I just kind of feel like she kind of fits in the other box. She's a high value woman if you want to put that on paper, because she's accomplished a certain level of education. Her personal career is doing good, but you know,
Woman is high functioning doesn't mean she's
You
successful
gotta,
financially or career wise. Just because a man is high functioning doesn't mean that either. Just because someone is high valued doesn't mean that they have a certain level of functioning. You have a lot of people that do good in the boardroom, high IQ, high functioning interpersonal relationships, but cannot function at home in their marriage. Those two are not relevant to each other. Low value or high value, low function, high function, two different things. Low value has to do with money and quality of life, fiduciary. Functioning has to do with how do you function innately, emotionally, psychologically as a human being. And so if you have billions of dollars, Donald Trump is low functioning. He just happens to be high value in the sense of his wealth, but he's extremely low functioning. And I'm not for or against him. I'm not for or against Trump. I'm just using someone. And again, we're having a conversation, so everything's going to be subjective. Just because a woman is high functioning.
I don't know. I think it just drives my point home a little bit more.
what that she would be considered low functioning.
Psychologically, she can't get along with anybody. Like, where you don't have anybody at home with you. You can't get along with another human at home. Like,
Okay.
where's your relationship?
All right, yeah. Let's use her.
Yeah.
Let's use her analogies against her. All right. Yeah, we could do that. Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
She gets home, it's just her. And I feel like a lot of these modern women are putting a lot more into the high value bag as opposed to the high functioning bag. You got to be able to get with the dude, and
That's high value to you though. But what's high value to you as far as a woman?
high value to a woman. Well, to me,
To you, yes.
high value, if I'm going to judge them on the same scale as a man, high value.
How you gonna judge a woman on the same scale as a man?
Because we don't broke down high value and high function.
No, I'm saying not what she's saying, but you. What do you consider a high value woman?
Before we had this conversation, I was putting everything into one box. She split the boxes. I was combining everything, and everything was combining in one. She said,
No, I'm not going by what she. I'm saying
Okay.
you. What do you categorize as a high value woman?
A high value woman is a woman with who checked all the boxes, that is excelling in her field, married at a certain age, at least in her 40s. Children doesn't really, because everybody can't have children, so I'll take that off the map. And top of her field, accomplished, doing her. It's kind of hard, but
Yeah. So
I never thought about it.
So basically, you're
as a
saying
woman,
like,
but if we're gonna combine everything, she's gonna have to check all the boxes. She's gonna have to be married at a certain age, have a career, be excelling in her career, and yeah, that's what I would put it at.
Okay.
And did I miss anything?
No, because I believe it encompasses everything in a sense. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to, if we're just talking about the value of a person, right?
Yeah. Oh, and respect of her peers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about the value of a person, I can't just go by what somebody does in their career.
Because you could say Kim Kardashian. Is Kim Kardashian a high value woman to you?
No,
Because she's not high functional.
no, it's just like, she's morally corrupt.
Right. But if you
I can't.
separated those things,
I don't separate those things. That's the
okay,
thing.
all right.
I don't
No,
do
but
that.
so let's play
See
her
this?
game.
No. See, no. I think that's the problem with her game.
Okay,
Right?
Let's go.
Is the fact that we try to create all these boxes,
Mhm.
and we do what works for us.
Right.
Right. She's gonna do like we're kind of born and we're made up to do that, right? We're going to highlight our attributes, and we're going to kind of like minimize the other shit that we are weak in.
Yeah.
We're gonna highlight our strengths, and we're gonna kind of ignore our weaknesses,
Mhm.
right? And then we're gonna create a new box that makes me better than you.
Yeah.
And that's the game that we play, right?
Mhm.
And all I say is this with people: if you're gonna play a certain game, just play it fair. You understand what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
play the game fair. If you're gonna tout yourself as being this, that, and the third, let me know what's your weaknesses. You can tell me your strengths, but let me know what your weaknesses are also. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
that.
be vulnerable enough to say, yo, yeah, I'm good at this, I'm great at that,
but I can work
but
better
I can work
this.
at this.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Let's play
It's
that
a
game.
level of vulnerability you're not going to get out of most people, but
Yeah,
it's nice to ask for it.
but in the
At least out of your significant other.
no,
you
no,
can get
you
it
know
out
why
of, but
you know why the shit is whack is because the comments and the boxes that these people create, they're shitting on a whole demographic of people, right?
Mhm.
And like she would put herself as high value, right?
Mhm.
But she doesn't have a significant other, right? Which means that she can't really cooperate with a significant other.
Yeah.
Um, maybe she doesn't have a nurturing uh characteristic in her. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's not a good quality.
And she's had plenty of time to get this shit together.
Yeah.
It's like you're 41 years old and you're sitting here like grandstanding on
But
niggas that
if a woman, right, is in her career, right, maybe she's not focused on like getting to the top of the food chain or getting to the top of a corporation. She has a good job, she makes a good living, but she wants to take care of her family, she wants children, she wants a family or whatever. Is she not high value? I know probably to her significant other, to her husband, to her kids or whatever, she's very high value.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But we create these boxes because it's to we have our insecurities, and we want to hide our insecurities and highlight our strengths to make somebody else make it like we're better than somebody else.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Men do it and women do it. I'm not just saying
Everybody
women
does it.
Yeah. I think I think it's just whack, man. You know what I mean? But this is the world that we live in, right? You can create a new terminology, low functioning. Now it's going to be the buzzword on social media, and
I like it though. I like low functioning. I feel like it separates high value. It's another subcategory.
I think
unless
we don't need a subcategory.
No,
right?
well, no,
Because
we needed a subcategory because look, on paper, Krishan Rock and Blueface
let me ask you
were a
this.
high value couple.
No.
Yeah, they were never
No.
couple.
So let me ask you this, right? If you buy a product, right? If you buy a air conditioner,
right,
and it's 5,000 BTUs, right?
Mhm.
It's going to be one price.
Right.
You buy another air conditioner and it's 15,000 BTUs, right? Is it going to cost more? Or is it going to cost less?
It'll cost more.
All right. So it functions higher, so the value is higher.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't act like this shit don't correlate.
No. Please. Now, the one with 5,000 BTUs, if you put it in your living room and wanted to cool your whole house, it's low functional. Now, the one with 50,000 BTUs, if you put it in your bedroom, if you have a 1-bedroom room, it's low functional in there too, because there's too much power for in there. It doesn't work good for that place that it's in, but that's where the low functioning means. Low functioning means that $50,000, it could be high value, but in the application where it's being used at, it's not good for that application. And that's where I feel like the low functional comes into play at. It's not good for the space that it's in.
If you function at a high level,
right,
it increases your value. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody ain't good for everybody.
Huh?
Everybody ain't good for, like, all right, you watched Entourage, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Ari was high functional. No, what was high value but low functional for his wife. He could have got with another wife and been completely fine for her. She just wanted that nigga home.
Okay.
Right? So it's just about where you're at. You could be high. It's just about checking all the boxes. And I feel like we speak about it more for like women, but I feel like men have to look at it too. Men, you could be kicking, and we spoke about it too. We just spoke about it with
children and spending time.
Yeah,
yes.
childhood.
Yeah.
You could be a high value man. You could be on the road, providing for your family, all that. Everything is great. Vacations, everything, but you're just not home enough to be high functional as a father. So it's just about the application of where you're applying. It's about where you're being used.
This is what you keep separating the two.
That's what it's meant to be.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that. I believe your value is based on your functioning. If I'm going to use her terminology, I think a father that's high functioning with his kids and his family is going to be more valuable to his family.
But he could be home all day, but he can't pay the bills.
All right. Okay.
But then it's going to be high functional and low value.
I think if let's just say that father passes away, God forbid, his kids, he's going to be dearly missed by his family and his kids, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was very high functioning as a father. Now, maybe he didn't have all the money in the world.
And if he was high and he brought a lot of money in, even on the other, all right, we're going around in circles. It's a dog.